been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time, but my time is finally near. I've been rewatching Enterprise recently, I apologise for that. This is a decade-old Wolfburn. Took a minute, didn't it? Yeah. Wolfburn, this is one of those distilleries that I've really kind of ignored, to be completely honest. Based in Thurso, according to the bottle here. So that's nice. Thurso. Anyway, there's a doggy on the front. It's probably a wolf, judging from the name, but kind of looks like a dog, I'm not going to lie. So, Wolfburn's been kicking around for about 10... Well, they've been able... Yeah, for 10 years, about right. I don't know, I really don't know a lot about them, sort of like the amount it has flown under the radar for me is unbelievable. Again, I could have Googled a lot of notes about this and been like, oh yes, it's that and the next thing, but I'm not looking for a brand ambassador job anytime soon, because frankly, they annoy me. So, the job's not so much the people, although there is on the person, to be completely honest with you. So this is something which the geeks, by which I mean people that walk through the door of this pub, God, I've done a good job, have taken an interest in, and as have I. I have had a nip out of this bottle myself, and I'm going to have another one, because it's pleasant. So, I'll start by reading some of the waffle on this, just, pad this out, get it to the 10 minutes I need to put adverts on this. You're welcome. Yeah, I should do all the nonsense, shouldn't I? Like, comment, scream, whatever. And there's a thing where you can, throw money at me. It's a membership thing, and I, post up regular updates. I think I'm going to start posting updates about, my life at the pub, because I might as well roll two in one, because that... Ashens is opening a pub. Yeah. Who'd have ever thought I'd have done something before him? Not me. But anyway, yeah. So, Ashens, if you want some advice on how not to fuck it up, come my way. I can actually offer something for once. Yes, here we are. So, let's talk about this. It says non-chill filtered right at the top, which we like. That's nice. There's that dog again. Aged 10 years. That's good. And underneath it says age for a minimum of 10 years in harder to read cursive than the words you would have just read that told you that information. So, that's lovely. In specially selected Oloroso sherry casks. Splendid. Natural colour under here as well, so they're paying attention. What's this bridge design about? Product of Scotland. Which, again, you would have known if you'd read the words above that said single malt Scotch whisky. So there's a lot of unnecessary McGubbins on here, but there's also information that we like, so that's good. Given that they already seem to be padding things out, you'll be alarmed to hear there is more information on the back. A double distilled in small stills for a fuller flavour. Tasting notes, 2023 vatting. On the nose, soft sherry sweetness melds like a Vulcan, with figs and raisins, but it's on the... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was just apostrophe spotting for a second there. But it's on the palate where the true depth of flavour shines through. Bold chocolate and dark fruit flavours abound, yes, with overtone... I'm struggling to read this. Am I getting night blindness, whatever it's called? With overtones of caramel and vanilla, all accompanied by gentle hints of nutmeg and oak smoke. Silky tannins make for a beautifully textured finish. Do you know what? It is nice that they, put a bit of thought into the body of the whiskey, because that's something that doesn't always get looked at. It's a 46% as well, so it's a box ticker. It's a box ticker for the geeks, which is good. Is this a new... I believe this is a core now, because obviously they've been churning out a lot of no-age statement stuff. To be fair, Glenallachie are releasing things that are 7, 8 years old, and Ardbeg are releasing 5-year-olds. Probably could have done an age statement before now, to be fair. And again, because I'm so unfamiliar with this particular distillery, that's not to say that they actually haven't already, but we shall move on. I've got some whiskey in this glass. it's this whiskey you'll be surprised to hear. Um, so yeah, I'm going to nose it, taste it. I'm going to see if I agree with what the dog has told me, and then, I don't know, probably beg you to subscribe again. That's how... Red Leicestershire. Yes, the cheese. It's got a dairy funk. Oh, it switched itself off. Yeah, you can hear me now. That's exciting. It has a dairy funk. It's a mild one. You know how, like, some cheeses stink the fucking room out of that mouldy crap that people seem to like? Ugh. Yeah, this isn't that. This is a more kind of mellow, soft, easygoing eating cheese. As opposed to that gone-off shite that... Which, I will never understand blue cheese. I just won't. I'm sorry, okay? Sorry if I'm not sorry if I offend you, actually. Like, ugh. I mean, ugh, yeah. Anyway, this smells like nice cheese, which doesn't in and of itself sound particularly delightful. However, it did tell us earlier on, so there was a clue on the bottle. Double distilled in small stills. So there's a few distilleries that use small stills, and basically it means that some of the funkier crap in the whiskey can't get out. To very badly summarise that process. So places like Ben Nevis, who have quite a funky whiskey, that's got small stills as well, and that funk comes from the fact that there's crap in the whiskey still, basically. I'm wording this very badly, but you get the idea, right? Tall stills, generally quite airy, light and clean. Lower stills, smaller stills, I should say, kind of dirty and funky and grimy. So, there you go. Interestingly enough, it doesn't really describe what that does. So, if you don't know, it's just sort of a tidbit. It's from Thursday. There are notes of a little bit of savoury and sweet in there. So there is an element of like a fig with Parma ham platter coming at you. It's sort of a deli in a glass, this, to be honest. I'm not getting any olives yet, or any of that, sort of, like the peppers that they poke cheese into. None of that. None of that. It's a shame, I suppose. Quite like those, they're quite nice. Yeah. There's just kind of like salty cheese notes almost, like, a bit of feta in there as well. It's got a lovely kind of brininess to it on the nose. It's not unappealing, absolutely, it's not unappealing, but it's just got it's a very savoury scent that I'm getting off of it. Which makes a nice change sometimes. Because I do get it sometimes where people come in and you're kind of like, okay, are you more of a sweets or a starts kind of a person? And for people who say starters, you're like, right, fuck, I've got 26 sherry casks that all taste like Christmas cake. What am I going to do with this person? So it's nice to have options. Right. It smells like cheese. So let's drink some. Does not, however, taste like cheese, which I'm pleased by, to be honest. What I do get is very oily, sort of fatty bacon that's not been smoked. So I'm a smoked bacon man myself. I think if you're going to go for unsmoked bacon, then there is something wrong with you, because why would you not let joy into your life in that way? However, this has got sort of the savoury, fatty, oily pigginess of an unsmoked bacon. There is raisins, sort of soaked in brandy. I do get a bit of that nutmeg. There is a kind of dry spice to it. It's a little bready. It still has a wonderful savouriness to it, which I'm kind of struggling to pin down a little bit, because you've got a lot of these sort of sweeter flavours, but the actual flavour is savoury. So it's almost kind of like when people combine like grapes and I'm going to use cheese again because it's the best example I can think of. So like when you mix oh yeah, like figs and parma ham or something like that. You put a bit of sweet and a bit of savoury together. Or those maniacs that put salt in their porridge. I don't know why you would do that. Tell you what, it's not like. It's not like salt and caramel because that's a little bit of savoury, mostly sweet. There's an element of olive oil about it as well. That lovely sort of savoury, rich flavour that a good olive oil has. It's coming through a little bit here. It's got that slightly... You know how there's an acrid element almost to olive oil? That, for some reason, kind of appealing in a way. I'm definitely getting a fair bit of that, but like it's a good like extra virgin olive oil. It's not like something you get in like a plastic tub for like 3 litres for a fiver or something. There's a char note about this. Like there's something a little burnt about it. Like if anyone's ever had well-fired rolls, which is my nice way of saying burnt bread. It's a Scottish euphemism. I was surprised by this when I first moved to Scotland. I saw them on the shelf, and I think it was around about April, and I was like, oh, that's an April Fool's joke. Okay, interesting. You're selling burnt bread. Well done. And then it was still, like different ones were still there a few months later, and I'm like, oh, this is a real thing, isn't it? They sell burnt bread in Scotland. Interesting. And they're chewy somehow. I don't know how they manage that. How is burnt bread chewy? Like, really chewy? I tried them once out of curiosity. I'm alright. I'll burn my own bread in the future. But yeah, it does have that kind of... I don't want to use the word carcinogenic, because that's not a nice word to use, but it's got that kind of sooty, burnt element almost to it. The sherry is doing a fantastic job of merging disparate elements together, and what it creates is this aromatic fruitiness, but with a savoury backbone. So it's odd. It's an odd whiskey, and I like that about it. I like that it's not... Because there's a lot of whiskies. Ben Nevis is actually quite guilty of this at the moment. That will just be like, oh, let's just be conventional and make it light and fruity, or make it really sweet and sherry, or make it really, really smoky. And this is none of those things. This is very much, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing. It's... Oh, there's a pun about lone wolves, and I can't bring myself to do it because it still kind of looks like a dog. Have you tried Wolfburn 10? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about it? Thumb this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. And there's also like a tip function if you want to like chuck 50p at me. You can do. And there's also the members thing. You get like badges and stuff, and you get to use emojis of Momo. So that's good. Mo's fine, by the way.